Hi, I'm Rusty Allen, Education and Outreach Coordinator for North Haven Gardens, here to talk about wildflowers. Texas native wildflowers are actually seeded out in late summer and early fall. It's really hot outside, but these are when these wildflowers need this kind of weather changes to get growing. They're very easy to grow in North Texas. All you're really going to need is some full sun and a minimal amount of soil preparation, and you have beautiful flowers come spring. This time of year, the best thing to really get going are annuals, like the Texas native bluebonnet, our state flower. Perennial ones you can plant really at any time of year, but all of them you can plant right now. There are so many to choose from. Here at North Haven, we've got botanical interest seeds in several varieties, as well as Native American seed in lots of native varieties. We'll help you select what you're looking for, from a small packet to a larger packet. If you have more space, you don't need a lot of space and you don't need a lot of work. The easiest thing to do is to make sure you have 6 to 8 hours or more of full sun in a fairly well draining area of soil. Now, not a lot of soil disturbance. The most important thing really though is to make sure there's not competition for our wildflowers. So no warm season grasses, no turf grass, and no cool season grasses either, like rye and fescue. Those kinds of grasses are simply going to give too much competition to our wildflowers to get them going. So seeding is pretty easy on most of them. Take your seed packet. You can pour seeds in your hand if you want. What some people do on finer, smaller seeds is mix it with almost any kind of sand. That gives you something a little bit more easy to handle, and you can scatter. It's just like feeding chickens. You're going to go from side to side like so in a nice gentle manner, and then some people come back the other way so you have an even distribution on the soil. What you can do to cover them is use a rake, like this round tine rake, with a very light motion, very little contact with the soil. We don't want to disturb soil very much. And incidentally, there's no tilling or anything like that, because we don't want weeds to start popping up and again give competition to our wildflowers. Now that you've got your wildflowers set on the soil, you're going to be watering. This is a very critical step. We don't want them to get dry at any time. You're going to keep them moist. So use a light setting on maybe a nozzle like this, never a full blast on a hose. Again, you're just going to splash these little fine seeds out. They actually need the sun. That's why we're having them right on top of the soil. Once your seedlings get to be about 1 inch tall, you can reduce the watering to about 2 to 3 times a week or so. What you're doing then is allowing them to get older and getting more drought tolerant. By spring, March, April, May, maybe into May and June, you can have wildflowers growing. It'll be so rewarding. You're going to bring pollinators, you're going to bring Texas native hummingbirds, and other kinds of wildlife to your garden. It's going to be easy to do. We'll show you how. So come to North Haven Gardens. We do have many of these seed packets for you to choose from wildflower mixes here for a water-wise garden, to a butterfly retreat, maybe even shade-friendly wildflowers. There's quite a few that will do that. Or of course, maybe get established some of our Texas native bluebonnets. Wildflower maintenance, it's actually pretty easy. We do want to be careful about mowing too often or too low. Now you want to mow probably 1 time a year when your wildflowers get spent, and you want them to seed out. So when everything has gone to seed is the time to mow. Don't mow too early or they won't get established. If you have perennial wildflowers, they may have that rosette, that closer amount of leaves to the soil. Don't mow too low or you'll damage that part of the plant. If you have larger flowers, like wildflowers like echinacea and rudbeckia, you can deadhead them. You can take pruners and cut those off. Remove those if you want, but in an established garden, leave 50%. Leave about half of them to get established. There's very, very easy steps that you're going to do, and you'll be able to get these established in your garden.